Welcome back, cloners. So, how about that Horde advertisement, huh? Pretty sweet. Speaking of sweet, we have another gameplay of Commander Usurper featuring 3 Planeswalker Commanders. We're trying to change the rule. We think every Planeswalker should get the chance to be a commander. On the Planeswalker side, we have Rob playing his mean Narset Transcendent deck, full of draw, control, and extra turn spells. Myself playing Nicol Bolas Planeswalker, which is a creature-like control deck. Josh playing his Karn Liberated nano-colored deck, which is the same exact deck as his Karn Silver Golem deck, only swapping out Karn for Karn. Oh, and Josh is the Monarch, or I mean King. On the non-Planeswalker side, we have Martin playing Edric Spymaster of Trest. Typical Edric deck with lots of small, efficient, and evasive creatures. Finally, we have Chad playing his Teysa Orzhov Scion deck, and I completely forgot we recorded a game with Teysa, and I especially forgot to ask Chad for his deck list, so I guess we're even. I can tell you right off the bat, this game is dominated by Narset. The fact that its Usurper is barely even relevant. The King starts first, casting Soul Ring into Sensei's Divine Top, and then gets an activation off the floating mana. Shambling Vents from Teysa. Narset casts Serum Visions to draw and scry it up. Zephyr Sprite from Edric. Karn casts both Mana Crypt and Gilded Lotus and tops once again. Soul Ring and Preordain from Narset. Jahessian Infiltrator from Edric. And 1 damage to Teysa from Edric's Sprite. Wasteland and Karn Liberated from the King, who then neg-3s Karn to exile Nicol Bolas' Swamp, because Swamp is more threatening than Narset's Soul Ring. Still nothing from Teysa. Narset Transcendent joins the battle on his turn, along with Mana Vault and a +1 Narset, not revealing anything. Soul Ring and Propaganda from Nicol Bolas. Edric from Edric. Edric then attacks player Narset, dealing him 3 damage and drawing 2 cards. Karn casts Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, drawing 4 cards. And instead of plussing Karn to keep it alive, the King instead wants to lose it by exiling something. But what? Edric tries to get him to exile Nicol Bolas' Propaganda so that he can attack him. It seems like the obvious choice here is to exile Narset, but Karn exiles Narset's Mana Vault instead. This ends up being a huge mistake. At the end of Karn's turn, Teysa casts Secure the Waste for 2 whites. In retaliation, Karn wastes Teysa's Shambling Vents, as he does not want to lose Kozilek to Teysa. I really just do not understand the way Josh plays most of the time. Teysa casts Teysa Orzhov Scion, and then attacks Josh for 2, and then sacks all of his creatures to exile Kozilek, since Josh shot his land. On his turn, Narset casts Time Warp, rebounded with the assist from the Planeswalker. On his second turn, he casts Everflowing Chalice, caked 3 times. Hedron Archive, and plus his Narset to add Cryptic Command to hand. On his third turn, Narset just plays Mikokoro, Center of the Sea, and plus his Narset, again adding nothing to hand. Fed up with Karn not doing anything about Narset, Nicol Bolas casts Darksteel Ingot, and then casts Compulsive Research, targeting Karn, to draw 3 under the hopes that he'll knock Narset in some way. Edric attacks Teysa for 5 with his creatures, not Narset, so that he'll be able to draw 3 cards. Edric doesn't draw cards from damaging walkers. Secure Tribe Elder, and Coiling Oracle from Edric post-combat, discarding cards at the end step. Karn casts Karn, but it is absolutely countered by Narset's Cryptic Command. This is when the rest of the table starts to realize Narset is getting out of hand. Thran Dynamo from Teysa. On Narset's turn, he starts by landing Temple of Enlightenment to scry Treasure Cruise to the top of his library, and then adds Treasure Cruise to hand with Narset's plus ability and casts it. He then casts Time Stretch to take 2 additional turns, not even bothering to rebound it. Narset draws a bunch more cards, casts Alhammaret's Archive. On his last turn, Narset takes his first damage of the game from Mana Crypt. Narset then has enough loyalty to make the Emblem of Dread, and then enough mana to recast Narset and plus it again. Hard times. Now players can only cast creature spells, and we can't even cast our commanders because our commanders aren't creatures. Fun! Nicol Bolas starts his spellless turn by casting Urabrask the Hidden, and uses it to attack Narset Planeswalker. On Edric's turn, he casts Reclamation Sage to blow up Narset's Archive. He then attacks, finishing off Narset, dealing 2 damage to Teysa, 3 damage to Karn, and draws 3 cards. On Karn's turn, he takes his first damage of the game from Mana Crypt. He then casts Blightsteel Colossus. This turns out to be another huge mistake. Teysa casts Sun Titan, returning Shambling Vents to play. At the end of Teysa's turn, Narset casts Fated Retribution to destroy all creatures and planeswalkers. Mana Crypt then deals Narset another 3 damage on his upkeep. Narset then casts Rider Replication Caked on the King's Blightsteel Colossus, making 5 of them. With no one being able to cast spells, no one has an answer to Narset's army of Blightsteels. Karn has a Blightsteel Colossus, and if he had Rogue's Passage on the field, he could totally kill Narset right now. But he doesn't have it, so he passes. On his turn, Narset casts Day of Judgment, and then sends all 5 Blightsteels at the king, because he's an assassin. Edric was the guard, Nicol Bolas was the traitor, and Teysa was an assassin. Narset's Neg 2 ability is nuts with Time Walk effects. As the team found out here, Karn was way too offensive with his Planeswalker early on, exiling harmless permanents while leaving Narset on the field. That is a good example of what not to do as the king. It's probably better to be more defensive than offensive, unless you can take down all 4 players at the same time. Josh didn't even know if he was attacking his own guard or not. All in all, it was very counterproductive. Nicol Bolas is a very creature-like deck, and after Narset emblemed, it was basically game over for him. He couldn't even cast his commander. Seriously though, a game ending with the king being attacked by 5 Blightsteel Colossus, we rarely get endings that nice. Okay, did you like us playing with Planeswalkers? I know I don't even need to say it, but please let us know in the comments, and remember to stay cool and stay clone, and check out these other Usurper gameplays. Oh, and keep an eye out for our next game of Horde. Who will it be? It could be squirrels, advisors. You have no idea.
Wow.
Talk about cheating.
Alright.
It was on top. Chad cut me, man. In the guild.
Oh my god. But he has something to play. He says mana ramp. Pass. Pass.
Mana ramps to Karn.
Jesus. Can you flood me some mana?